nous sommes au 63e Festival de télévision de Monte-Carlo, dont Beta Série est partenaire, et au micro avec nous aujourd'hui Carrie Preston, qui nous présente la série Elsbeth en compétition cette année. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, good. Yeah, so Elsbeth,
Yes.
it's a spin-off of The Good Wife, but first things first, why should one watch the show if even they haven't watched The Good Wife or The Good Fight, or even if they disliked it?
The show is completely different than The Good Wife and The Good Fight, and that is a police procedural. It's not a legal show at all. But the fun thing about it is it's kind of like Columbo. It's more of a howdunit instead of a whodunit. So you meet the criminal, you see the murder, you know who the killer is, and then you get to watch this very unconventional character come in and do a little cat and mouse and figure out how this killer did their job. And it's really fun. It's light. But it also has a lot of heart. I think it's extremely entertaining, and each episode is like a different world. It's like a little movie.
And how do the Kings approach you for this spin-off? And just more in general, can you just gush a little bit about them, working with them, please?
Robert and Michelle King, I owe a lot to them. They created this role 14 years ago on The Good Wife, and they trusted me with it. They are extremely talented, but also amazingly lovely people. They're so collaborative, but yet they're great leaders. It's a rare combo. So the fact that they kept coming back to me over those years and letting me play the character again and again and again, and then thought enough of what I was doing with the character to want to create a show around her was so humbling. All of their shows, I think, are extraordinary. Good Wife, Good Fight, Evil, Elsbeth, even the things that they produce, they have an incredibly amazing and impeccable taste.
The character of Elsbeth has always been a fan favorite among the fans of The Good Wife, and she has a lot of quirks, which could irritate people, to be honest. So what do you like about her, and what do you like less about her?
I mean, I think, yes, she's very quirky. Maybe it does irritate people sometimes, but she always uses that as like a superpower. Sometimes some people can be so unusual that it's a little disarming, but it's also refreshing and surprising. Just when you think that she's going to do one thing, she will do another, and that's by design. I really try to do that to keep people on their toes. So, maybe they think that I'm one way, and then I'll try to make sure that they don't know what I'm going to do next as an actor. And I think that's true of the character too, and really it's true of life. We don't know. Life isn't total improv, and so I think Elsbeth is very improvisational in how she approaches things, and yet extremely methodical. So I try not to worry about, is this going to be too much, too little, whatever. I just try to play the scenes in the best way that I know how, honoring the character and making positive choices. She's a very positive and joyful character, and I find that to be infectious.
Was she pardon me.
It's okay.
Was she written like that in the beginning, or did you put a bit of yourself, or you tailor-made for you afterwards?
At first, if you ever were to go back and watch 14 years ago, I mean, of course I was way younger and was a guest in a different type of a show, so I was kind of dipping my toe into the character. You can see that because I didn't know her. I just didn't know her very well at all. But the way it was written, I knew it was unusual. I knew there was something special about her. I was just trying to figure out how to unlock what that was. And the writers would write just a little thing like, in parentheses, the word pause. Most of the time you would just kind of, I need to just take a break, a moment here, and then move on. But I thought, no. What if that's the most important thing? What if the pause is the most important thing? What's happening in that pause? So then I started filling that in. And then that's where I got the key to how to play the character. There's something else going on while the words are coming out, or maybe when the words aren't coming out, and that became fascinating to me. And then the writers started writing to that, and then here we are, 14 years later.
Yes. For people who have followed the shows, will there be a chance to see Kyle McLachlan in season 2?
Kyle McLachlan.
Yes.
I would love to see Kyle McLachlan in season
Maybe it's
2.
not planned yet.
I would love to see him. We had such a great
The
time
dynamics
together.
between your two characters were amazing.
The writing, our connection, the way he was playing that role with the way Elsbeth is, it was combustive. It was like the chemistry there was great. And now he's a brilliant actor. He's also very busy. So, and I don't know what the writers have in mind for Elsbeth. This is a different world, than The Good Wife and The Good Fight. And I think they Jonathan Tollins, who's our showrunner, who's in charge of all the writers, he's really done a great job of making sure that this is its own show. He's taken what Robert and Michelle created, and he's made it his own, and it's its own world with him and these incredible writers at the helm.
I know that when I started watching Elsbeth, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, wait, she has a son."
Yes.
We forgot that.
We forgot that. Yes, I forgot that.
Yes. So who would be your dream cast for your son, Teddy?
Oh gosh, I hadn't thought about who would be the dream for that. I think it needs to be somebody we maybe is a little unknown, somebody who we haven't seen playing a bunch of different roles before. I think that would be fun, to have somebody who's maybe somebody who's done theater but maybe hasn't done a lot of film and TV, somebody that the audience doesn't know, so he can really put his mark on that character. That said, I don't know if they will do that, but I would imagine at some point we're going to need to meet Teddy.
Yeah, because he has been mentioned a lot this season. So.
Yes, he was mentioned a lot. So.
Elsbeth is always carrying this huge bag with her. So
Yes.
What's inside it?
What's inside the bags? I always think that Elsbeth carries the bags around full of things that she might need for her work, for whatever the case is at the moment, whether it be as a lawyer or now as a police detective. They're like little crutches in there, of things like, oh gosh, I might need this abacus, or who knows if I might need to eat a little snack, a little hungry, or a complete change of clothes. Who knows what's in there exactly? I like to keep it a little secret, but one little detail that you might notice watching the show, once I come in to arrest the killer, once I know who the killer is, I'm not carrying any bags. I don't need them anymore.
Interesting.
Yes.
A bit maybe more indiscreet question. What is it like to be a power couple with Michael Emerson?
We don't think of ourselves as a power couple at all. We've been together a long time, over 30 years. Almost 30 years. We've been married 25. So we kind of started off at the same place in our careers, mostly doing theater, and then we've kind of gotten into the film and TV world alongside each other. And so it's nice to have that, that both of us have had a level of success, so there's not oh, I wish I had what you have, or any of that. We just are very supportive of each other and, grateful for the work. And we don't even spend a lot of time talking about what we do. We talk about just our lives and our families and our dog, and, I'm very grateful to have him as my partner in life.
Great balance. And also, Elsbeth was aired on CBS, actually. Were you surprised that it would be on a network rather than a streaming platform?
I think Elsbeth is definitely tailored for the network. It has a broad appeal, and that was by design. Robert and Michelle wanted to create something that was for a larger audience and not just a niche. And then Jonathan Tollins, our showrunner, has continued that. I think the format of it being kind of like a Columbo, where we see the murderer and the howdunit of it all. I think that belongs on the network.
And maybe just to conclude, what's the a latest show you've watched and really enjoyed and you will recommend to everyone?
I loved The Veil with Elizabeth Moss. I'm watching The Sympathizer now. I think it's wonderful. I'd recommend that. And if you haven't seen Reservoir Dogs, I know it's all over now, but that's like, to me, the best comedy of the last decade.
Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see Elsbeth very soon on French Waves.
Yay.